Hey friends, this is Donovan with Springfield Music. Got a quick review for you today for the new Ibanez Promethean bass amp. This is Ibanez entry into the micro amp market, kind of like maybe the Ginsbin Shuttle or one of the Little Mark series, something like that. So pretty feature-packed amp at a industry-leading price point. For $500 for a 500 watt head, pretty tough to beat. Available in a 110 combo with a 110 extension cabinet. It's a pretty remarkable little wonder amp. So let's get to it, shall we?
So here we have the front of the amp. Again, on the combo version, it's a 10-inch ceramic driver. If you were to get the extension cab with it, it would have a neodymium speaker, a dome tweeter. There's 5 screws that attach the grill to the top, ported in the front. It's really pretty nice. On the bottom, there's this little handle that kind of, sorry, it's hard to get on the camera, that flips out to make it a kickback design, which is pretty slick. If we look at the top, the handle area is recessed, and if you're familiar with the Ginsbin Shuttle, the handle is much more comfortable on this amp than it is on the Ginsbins. It seems a little softer, doesn't have any sharp points like the Ginsbins does, so it's kind of nice. Looking at the top of the amp section itself, you see we've got a really good looking red color, which is nice. Stands out really well, looks good on a gig. So we've got red with white lettering. Over here on the left, we've got, of course, input, an on-off mute switch, which is pretty handy. That can be controlled with a foot switch. Gain control with a clip LED, so that as we are overdriving the front end of the preamp, it'll flash and light up. Two parametric EQs, low and high. A reasonably comprehensive graphic EQ that can be turned on and off with a push button over here. It's pretty nice. I mean, it's got most of the frequencies really that you would need. The thing that's probably most unique to this amp, it has what we call a vibe control. It can be switched on and off, and you can dial it in anywhere between very modern sounds and very, very vintage sounds. Essentially what's kind of happening is as you move more and more over to the vintage side, you lose a lot of high end and treble, and it gets very warm and dark sounding. If you move it all the way over to the modern side, to me it sounds basically the same as if you just shut it off. So I guess to say that would mean that the amp in and of itself, if you're not using this, it's a very modern sounding amp. But if you switch this on and start dialing in some vibe, it'll make it sound a little more old school. Then we have a master volume control with a power amp clip. We have an auxiliary input here. Plug your iPod, iPhone, MP3 players in, whatever. And then a headphone input there. So, pretty slick. Looking on the back of the amp, we've got, there's 4 knurled thumb screws that you can screw to take the amp off, which I'll do here in just a minute. And on the bottom of the amp, I'm going to try to do this in a way where you can see it better. There we go. We shouldn't both have to look upside down. At least you can see it right side up. Of course, the power cord on-off switch. This is for the extension cab. If you wanted to use 1/4 inch input for a cab other than the standard cab, you could. Fan over here is for the direct outs. We've got the direct out there, and then a level control, EQ, and a ground lift. And over here we have tuner outs and foot switch control. And the foot switch control will control the EQ, or excuse me, strike that. The foot switch control controls the mute function and also the vibe function. Take the head out's pretty easy. Obviously, you want to unplug everything. Take out the screws. At that point, the head just slides right out. And as you can see, I mean, it's pretty small, lightweight head. I'm looking at a Ginsbin shuttle right now, and they're probably about the same size. This is probably just slightly wider, but shorter in height in this direction than the Ginsbins. The other nice thing about the Ginsbins is that it's only held in by 2 thumb screws, and the screw portion is shorter, so the Ginsbin's head is easier to take in and out. So I'll give it that for sure. That being said, this isn't that difficult, but it's going to take you longer than the Ginsbins does.
Okay, so right now I've got the amp set flat, and what I'm going to do is I'll play it flat, and then I will dial in a slap tone kind of bit by bit to let you hear how each different section changes it, and we'll go from there.